Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment of our program brought to you by Parkside Cabin Rentals. When it comes to Smoky Mountain getaways, one website, one company, one family. Stand above the rest. ParksideCabinRentals.com is where you go. They have so many cabins to choose from, and the Ogle family, well, they've been aces in the hospitality business up there since the national park first opened, literally. ParksideCabinRentals.com to learn more, to find the perfect spot for you, your friends, your family. If you're looking for a getaway in the Smokies, that's where you go first, Parkside Cabin Rentals. All right, let's welcome in the last two members of today's panel, two VFLs back with us. Sterling Hinton right here, former ball quarterback, former ball defensive lineman, Daniel Hood right there. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here, John P.
All right, since we're bringing in the positive twins, I thought let's, the other guys talked about it as well. It is kind of a glass half full for now. We know you won't change, but by November, if you're still not making good on these, that's going to take a different look. But right now, I thought there were some things myself that I found encouraging. Talk to me. What did you see that you thought, okay, you lost the game, but here's one thing I've seen in 2 weeks that I like. Here's something one to grow on, if you will.
The attitude. I mean, that stick-to-itiveness attitude. I mean,
appropriate on the Johnny Majors Classic Day that they had stick-to-itiveness.
Attack.
Stick-to-it. They had a good countenance.
Yeah. But the fact those guys, they never gave up. I mean, it was some plays that we left on the table. We left on the field. I think we left, a lot of points on the field that would have, apples, we win the game. But the fact that they actually stayed on the field and played for 60 minutes, I tell you, that's encouraging.
Daniel.
Well, I think just adding on top of that, you watched this first couple of series when we got up, 10-0. They were fighting hard, and you got every reason against you. You got 35 bodies down. You end up being down your top two running backs. Your quarterback goes out. You get more penalties in a game than offensive yards you averaged, I think, last year in some games. But they still went out there, kept fighting. Defensive line just fought the entire game. You give up 27, not ideal in the first half, come back, hold them to 14 in the second half, give your offense a chance to win the game. And it was fun to see those guys out there play with the energy, play with enthusiasm.
Yes.
Something went wrong, didn't matter, put on more steam.
Absolutely. The test is going to come. If they don't start getting rewarded with victories, by the end of the year, they're still putting on more steam like that if you are sitting here at 2-6. But yesterday, I agree with you. I thought the effort was good. Will, anything to build on that you've seen?
Yeah, the defense against the run is doing very well. That's been a very big positive, especially from where they were last year. The tight ends, not only blocking, but has become a weapon for you. I think that's a very positive. And I like what Callaway did yesterday, and you want to see him more. And I think you need that kind of guy, right? You need the guy that can make a guy miss and turn a 5-yard route into a 20-yard route.
Right.
So those were some positive things that I saw yesterday that you hopefully can build upon.
You mentioned the tight ends, 9 catches, 92 yards, and a touchdown. They could have had more. But they were overthrown. The run defense, Pitt had 45 carries and only gained 96 yards. You're giving up 2 yards a carry, and even that's a little misleading because they'd worn you down that last drive where they were just killing the clock there. They ran it and had a little more success than they had the rest of the game. Your run defense was giving up less than 2 yards per carry when they're running it 45 times. That's pretty good. That's pretty solid, as you said. I'll tell you one thing that I liked.
I was just going to add on to the run defense. As a defensive lineman, Will can talk about it too. The biggest thing is never giving up an explosive play. Only one explosive play in the run game for the entire game. It's really good run defense.
I know that they overthrew them. I know that you had a couple of drops. But when these guys dial up the deep shots, they get guys open. They're able to scheme these guys open. Those aren't, and those are schemed, most of those guys being deep, those are schemed up. That isn't just, he beat his man on the outside and he's running deep. Most of those are designed, laid up plays. They aren't converting them. But if you get the guys who can convert them, it tells me that you got coaches who can get them open. And I find that encouraging moving forward. That plays into Josh Heupel's reputation. It's not working right now, but he's doing his part. All he can do is draw it up, get them open, and it's there for him.
And I want to piggyback off that, John P., if I may, from a quarterback's perspective. And that comes from, continuity. The offense is all continuity, get to know one another. We've got guys that have been together less than a year that are playing with each other right now. Now, okay, they got a lot of practice time, a lot less than what we had, but
Yeah.
they got a lot of practice time. But, you know, when those things come together, like John just said, I'm excited about the amount of points we're going to be able to put on the board, the amount of connection we're going to be able to make with these guys, because they're very capable. And now, you know, we'll see what's going to happen.
Bob Hodge made a point before we came on the air, and I got to be quick here, but I'm going to steal it from him. Imagine this offense, these first two games, if you still had Josh Dobbs.
Yeah.
If you still had Josh Dobbs. You'd be 2-0 right now. You wouldn't have lost yesterday. Now, granted, Dobbs is a really good player, but imagine him in this offense. That's a guy who could take advantage. He may not have hit all those deep shots. He'd hit a couple of them, and that's all you'd need. You know, you're a player or two away on offense, I think, from doing what everyone expected Josh Heupel to be able to do.
Hey, Jan, I want to piggyback on that too, John Peavy. He had a couple of those receivers from back in the days, like the Peerless Prices, the Anthony Miller, the Alvin Harper. It's
that's
hard
true.
to overthrow those guys.
Well, that's true. But here's the thing. You're supposed to have those guys, though. You got a bunch of 4-star receivers. Jalen Hyatt's 4-star. He's supposed to be those guys. You don't like that.
I just don't know. I mean, I know how fast
Those guys are great. I know.
Those
I know.
guys are
These guys
fast.
are supposed to be 4 stars. And the recruiting rankings are never wrong. All right. When we come back, 3 up, 3 down. Who played well, who didn't? And then after that, who should be the starting quarterback at Florida? We got a lot more to come on this show. Come on back on the Sports Source.